The way that we live is not for everybody. We're going to run and put our bodies on people in a violent manner.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's on.
You know what time it is. It's time to come out.
I love the way she move it, shake it on me.
Surprise! Guess what's making its way back into your space after its 2-year hiatus? You've guessed it, Juan Gotti's Top of the Morning show will be back January 6, 2025, live at 9 a.m. Mondays and Wednesdays. So bring your coffee and all your morning dews with you as we're back on Top of the Morning show. See you over there.
Top of the morning, 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 top of the morning. Hold on.
Timeout. Daniels throws down the sideline for Terry McLaurin. McLaurin misses. Lightning strikes twice in Washington.
Daniels, Jayden Daniels. I changed the whole franchise like Jayden Daniels. You didn't believe in me, why are you hating? I put the team on my back like my name Jayden.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here. We have the Washington Commanders live stream. And in today's live stream, I have a very special guest with me to my right. In previous, worked with DMV Sports Zone, also had his own channel. Go way, way back. My man Abdullah here to talk about the Washington Commanders and all the great things going on with our team. How you doing, my man? I appreciate you for stopping by tonight.
Of course, man. I always appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. I love the intro. It was like a movie, man. I was always on my edge of my seat. But yeah, man, the Commanders are actually good now. For a long time, I've known Juan for a while. I can literally pull up the DMs, bro, like 2018, 2017. We were talking about YouTube and stuff. And now that they're good, people want to listen to us talk about them. It's a good feeling.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was just, as you mentioned through the intro, it was just kind of like insane to, first of all, hear the year 2025. Like, I still just remember being in high school, starting this channel, talking about the Commanders, like, and just, again, starting at the worst time possible. Like, 2019 was the worst year to start, and for most of us, we did around that time. And it was tough because obviously 3-13, then Ron Rivera came in assuming that it was going to be a good hire and he was going to do this, and it was just a terrible 4 years. And to be here, it's insane. But as insane as it is, we deserve this. Like, this is what it's supposed to be like. Like, this is one of the major sports cities in North America. We should not be suffering through terrible sports. So I want to start there with you. With this season being 11-5, having an opportunity tomorrow to finish 12-5, was this season, like, how was this season for you? Essentially, I get that it was great and it was good, but going into this season, what was your expectation, and like, just how was it for you overall throughout this whole year?
I think I hope I'm not the only one, but I didn't expect us to win more than 6 games. I really thought, rookie QB, new pieces. First year, NFC looked competitive playing in the NFC East. I didn't think we were going to do that much damage, but I mean, once I saw that, the Cincinnati game made me realize that we have a QB. I think it was when we blown out Cleveland, I was like, okay, we actually have a shot at the playoffs. And now that I look at it with some of these injuries with other teams and winning 12 games, last time we did that, again, 1991 goes back to that. It's just crazy. It's a great time to be alive as a Commanders fan. The best thing about all this, Juan, is that this is going to be Jayden Daniels' worst offensive supporting cast throughout his whole career. And it's guys with Alameda, Zacchaeus, Jamison Crowder, old head Jamison Crowder. Not saying that those guys suck, but it's going to be an upgrade next year and the years after. We're going to younger tight ends, a better offensive line. And he's doing this now. Like, the NFL really should be on notice, and people should be dangerous, man. I mean, should be scared of how dangerous this guy can be.
Nah, facts. I'm not going to lie to you, though, and I deserve my flowers and credit for this. Back in the summertime, I made a prediction song. That's one thing that I seen a comment on my Jayden Daniels song that I made. Someone said that I was like, I was glazing or whatever because I made a song about Jayden Daniels, which they had to be new around here because I've been making songs about this team going back to 2020. Like, when we made the playoffs, like I made a song about us winning the NFC East. I made a song about the Cowboys. And like I always make songs about this team. And I don't know if he was trolling or not, but I was just saying that to say I made a song earlier into like the summertime to predict the schedule, and I said we was gonna go 11-6. I think I either said 12-5 or 11-6, but I said that along the lines because I was a little bit on the opposite end with you. I didn't think the NFC was that good. I didn't think that this schedule was that hard. Now, did I think Jayden Daniels was going to be this good this fast? No, not at all. I could not have predicted that in a million years, but I predicted us to win that many games because of our schedule and the conference around us. I mean, headed into this season, who are we talking about as the best quarterback in the NFC at that time? Jalen Hurts and Jordan Love? Like, no one knew Sam Darnold was going to be this good. No one knew what Caleb Williams was going to be. No one knew anything of Jared Goff was going to be as good as he was. So I just had a really good feeling about this season. And again, realistically speaking, I don't think even though I predicted the win total, no one expected it to be like this. Like, with how fast we got, trying to read the comments. One, when you said on JD5 I was weak. What's up, Pedro? Appreciate you for stopping by. DMV Sports Zone, my guy, what's going on? Yeah, I really have though. Like, that's what I was saying. But it's crazy. I'm gonna take some credit, but I'm not gonna take all the credit because I didn't think Jayden Daniels was gonna be this good. Like, I didn't think he was gonna be this good. I just thought we would be 11-6 again because of other reasons. Obviously, him being good, but I just thought, again, the conference wasn't as good. But it definitely surprised me. It definitely still had its Washington moments in this season with the loss to Pittsburgh, which we shouldn't have lost that game. Dallas, we didn't show up the first time. Like, we still had some old Washington moments that reared its ugly head, but overall, we got our act together and we have an opportunity to finish 12-5. So that being said, man, Jayden Daniels, it's just like, they don't understand, man. Like, they really don't. It's so hard. Like, people want to say to us, oh my God, why do y'all keep talking about this man? Why are y'all putting him on this pedestal already? How is he already the best quarterback in the NFC? Which I think he is. I don't care. I don't care if it's only one season. I think he's already the best quarterback in the NFC. And I think he's top 5. Man, I'll put him 6, okay? I'm going to say 6 just out of the respect for Justin Herbert because Justin Herbert is that dude and he's done it for multiple years. But he's already the 6th best quarterback, in my opinion, and the best quarterback in the NFC. Where do you stand on that? And then just talk a little bit about how some people are kind of trying to, like, not downplay us, but they just don't understand what we've been through as fans of this team. So they don't understand why we're treating Jayden Daniels, just putting them up here. They don't understand the Jason Campbell days. They don't remember the Rex Grossman, Taylor Heineke, Garrett Gilbert, all these quarterbacks we've been through, man. They just don't get it.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's so crazy because, like, I want to make him top 5, top 7, but it's just like, it's just so hard because after his rookie year. But I'm telling you, like, the when it comes to the effect that he's had on this team, I told people that this dude is going to have the same way that teams view Mahomes in overtime or in clutch situations. Whenever you have, in that case, with number 15 with Mahomes, but whenever you have number 5, you're never out of the game. I generally think, and Pedro brought up the comment, if Jair Newton didn't jump offside that Steelers game, Jayden Daniels, even though Zach Ertz had that first down, would have somehow gone on the field and we would have won the game. And overtime, win the coin toss, that's over. That's game. And that's just how cold the dude is. And that's all that experience, the games he played in LSU, that all that total up, and now he's doing it in the pros, and it's just amazing. And again, Mahomes, Lamar's been having a great year. Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. This year, I think he's been having a better year than Jordan Love. And I always tell people all the time, like, imagine if he had weapons like what Jalen Hurts has in Philly with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. You know, right now he's dealing with the Terry McLaurin and a bunch of wide receiver twos and wide receiver threes at best. And you just have to be patient. And with the cap space that we have this offseason, with the draft capital, I mean, it's only up from here. And I generally think he has the ability to be the best quarterback in the league. And if not the best, him and Mahomes are definitely going to go back and forth for, I think, the next couple of years.
No, yeah, and you hit it right on the head. And shout out to you and also my man's Ryan Clark, who has a special, place in risk and history. He said the same thing you just said. Like he said when that coin toss happened against the Falcons and Washington won, they called ball game at that very second. Like, that's the kind of confidence that Jayden Daniels has instilled in this team. I literally said this so many times because it's legit true. When we were down 21-7 against the Eagles, I literally placed a bet on DraftKings because I knew we were going to win. And I still risked that. I still had just a calm feeling. And again, I was there live in person against Atlanta. We were down 17-7. I was cool and I wasn't tripping at all. And it's been like that for this whole season, because anytime you have a quarterback as the caliber of a Jayden Daniels, you're never out of it. Now, I understand you want to be a little bit calm. You want to be a little bit, humble when it comes to already placing them inside the top 10. But I mean, if we're just being honest, like what this is the greatest rookie season we've seen. CJ Stroud, he set the standard last year, and when he's came in, that being Jayden Daniels came in and blew it out of the water. Like this is the greatest rookie season we've seen. This man has the veterans on the team looking up to him as the leader. Like, I know you guys seen that mic'd up video. I've never seen a rookie that composed before. Like, he's just chilling, calm, not panicking, has the control of the team. Like, it's just crazy, man. And we deserve it as fans, we do. But even so, as Jayden Daniels, he deserves it. Because I mean, I still remember after we drafted him, there were a lot of people that thought this wasn't going to be possible. A lot of people started to post the Arizona State video where when he transferred to LSU, all the Arizona State players, one of his Arizona State players, seen a viral video of him saying, he's trash anyway, get him out of here. So
I wonder what that dude's up to now.
Yeah, like I tried to look him up the other day, but I couldn't find anything on him at all. I think he deleted all his social media. Like, I just can't find him. But it's just crazy, man, that Washington is just scratching the surface, and we won 12 games, or potentially 12 games. And not just Jayden Daniels winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, but Dan Quinn, I don't think he's going to get it, but he should be definitely in the running for Coach of the Year, because you turn a team from 4-12, rebuilding, into 12 wins and a possible playoff run. Like, you just have to get rewarded for that somehow, man. So leading into that, what are your thoughts on just Dan Quinn and this whole coaching staff? What were your expectations going into the season, and how is it now?
It's so funny because going into this year, everyone gave Dan Quinn that rep, or a good amount of people, a lot of skeptical people, of Ron Rivera. 500 record, went to the Super Bowl, lost it. But again, Dan Quinn had the experience of being DC in the Legion of Boom, went to the Super Bowl with Atlanta. Obviously, 28-3, that is what it is. With the high power offense in Atlanta, that team was really good. And then in Dallas, he transformed that defense. Historically, in 2020, that was one of the worst defenses in Dallas Cowboys history, I think NFL history. When he got there, he changed it up. Coming here into Washington, did a great job of bringing his guys. Ron Rivera did it with the Panthers, but it didn't work. But he's doing it with the guys and his coaching staff from the Cowboys and the players as well. And it's worked out. I love it. His approach, his aggressiveness approach, going for it on fourth down, being on the same page as Joe Witt Jr., Cliff Kingsbury. That's something we haven't seen here in Washington. It's all about drama off the field, and there's no drama. It's all business, man. And I'm excited about the hire. Obviously, at the time, us Commanders fans, we wanted Ben Johnson, and we ended up settling for Dan Quinn. But now, if you look at it, I mean, would there have been a better hire? I don't know, but he's done a great job developing Jayden Daniels and the players that he's brought in, considering the fact that he was dealt with a terrible, terrible roster 4 years of Ron Rivera. And I just can't wait to see the moves that he does this offseason. And who knows, bro, down the line, Micah Parsons. I mean, he loves talking about Jayden Daniels in his podcast like every other week. Who knows? Maybe Dan Quinn will have a play in that of him coming to DC.
No, yeah, and I literally just made like my third video on him today, and I'm not trying to do it to milk Micah Parsons or like that topic, but it's just insane how it's one thing if like an AFC team or even the Falcons, for example, gives Jayden Daniels his flowers, but for a rival player on a rival team to consistently talk about this, man, it's just insane. And I do think Micah Parsons wants to come to Washington more so, not just even for Jayden Daniels specifically, but because of Dan Quinn, Joe Witt Jr., and all his Cowboy splendor coming over here. And in this generation, we know it's possible because there's no like true hatred towards the team how it used to be back in the day. But yeah, man, you hit it right on the head. The coaching staff has been outstanding this season, man. I mean, I remember early on in the season, I was a little frustrated with Joe Witt Jr., but it really wasn't him. It was more so the lack of talent and these guys just being out of position. And over the course of the season, I've just loved how we finally have coordinators and coaches that makes adjustments, that see that what they're doing wrong and they make these changes. Like, it's so fun to see. I mean, we've been through the era of Scott Turner literally not getting Terry McLaurin involved in games and then just acting oblivious to it. At least Cliff Kingsbury can own up to it and say, yeah, you know what, we got to do a better job at getting them the ball. We've had times with Jack Del Rio, same thing. Greg Minuski and Jay Gruden and all these coaches, like, it's just been so bad in the past. And now we're to the point where we have a legit coaching staff. And you've seen the positive effect on these coaches, on these players. They clearly bought in and they clearly love playing for Dan Quinn. So shout out to the coaching staff, and as DQ said, man, we definitely want to win tomorrow. Like, he's made it abundantly clear where a lot of teams are resting their starters. A lot of teams are headed to the postseason and focused on the postseason. Dan Quinn's still fighting for that 6th seed. So that being said, that is a great transition point by Eli here. He asked Rams or Bucks. So that's a good transition point until the next topic, as we're going to talk about the 6th seed, as Washington currently sits in the 6th seed, but we don't yet have it locked up. Washington, with a victory versus the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow, will be the 6th seed and will either face the Bucks or the Rams. If they do lose and Green Bay wins, they will fall back to 7 and play Philadelphia, and then Green Bay will move up to number 6. However, if Washington and Green Bay both lose, Washington gets a tiebreaker and they'll stay at the 6th seed. So needless to say, Washington just needs to win and they'll be fine. Hence to why Washington starters will be playing, and I fully expect them to play until this game gets out of reach tomorrow, and then they can get out of the game early. That's at least the dream scenario. We know it could go different because it is a division opponent. That being said, Abdullah, I'm going to ask you, if you had to pick for Washington, or if you had a game where you were more comfortable and feel like Washington could win, where would it be? At Tampa or at LA?
It's honestly an interesting thing because I've heard both sides. For me, I made a video talking about how LA just would have been, I think, in my opinion, nicer because traveling to LA, Jayden Daniels, hometown. Also, LA really doesn't have a home field advantage. I mean, and the field is nice, so it's indoor, so there shouldn't be any excuses of missing field goals. But with our kicking situation this past season, I don't know about that. But yeah, no, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans versus hopefully Marshawn Lattimore plays. We need him. I know he's not playing tomorrow, but we need him in that wild card round because I don't know about you, Juan, but I can't stand watching Michael Davis and Ben St. Juste have a worse cornerback in NFL history off because I just can't. I can't. It's just too much. So again, we have the familiarity with that. Baker Mayfield has been having a great year, but he's also sometimes puts the ball in risky situations. So it could be their turnover or two out there. And I know week 1, we lost him. We got blown out with Jayden Daniels' first game, shaking off the rust, or not the rust, but just being scared as a rookie. And it would be nice to see that. But also, if you look at the Rams situation, you have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. Again, if you have Marshawn Lattimore that takes one receiver out of the game, you only harp on one. Kyron Williams is a good running back, but we've seen in these past couple weeks, Joe Witt Jr. start off slow in the run defense, but somehow halftime adjustments have been working. And defensively, I think their rookie Verse has been having a great year. But outside of that, their secondary has been shredded. This past month, they were in a close win against Arizona, against the Jets. They did have a shootout with the Buffalo Bills. So again, and then Matthew Stafford isn't that mobile. And honestly, I think the Rams, I don't know why they're benching the starters. I don't know if it's the fact, and this is kind of crazy to think about, but do they want to lose just to avoid playing the Commanders? Again, Jayden Daniels, he has that effect where it's like he's going to make defensive coordinators and head coaches like not have enough sleep at night, considering the fact that his mobility, his ability to throw down the field, his ability to extend plays, all that in total, I prefer the Rams just because, again, like it would be nice to see us play against Emmanuel Forbes or Cam Curl. You know, all the headlines would be nice. Not saying that Emmanuel Forbes is going to start, but it would be nice. So I'd say the Rams, but I wouldn't mind the Bucks. And if we play Philly, that would be interesting. But playing in Philadelphia, it's hard, and then it's the third time. So divisional opponent, you don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
No, yeah, definitely for sure. Washington versus LA is going to be an interesting game. And I'm right there with you. I think Washington has a good opportunity to beat the Rams. I understand that the Rams are a proven team when it comes to the postseason, as they did win a Super Bowl a couple of seasons ago. However, I think Washington has the opportunity, as you already mentioned, to go to California and take over SoFi Stadium. Jay Day's back into his home state, and it's gonna be cool to see him play back at home in the biggest game of his rookie year. Washington, I think, matchups very well versus that team. However, the only thing that does scare me about that is defensively, as you mentioned, the cornerback duo, because Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, it's definitely scary. And Kyron Williams can run the ball very, very well. That's one thing about these NFC teams, too. And it seems like every NFC team in the playoffs can run the football. Josh Jacobs in Green Bay, Saquon Barkley in Philadelphia, Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. Obviously, who I just talked about in LA, and Kyron Williams, and then Tampa Bay and Bucky Irvin. Like, wow, hold on. I just thought about that. Every team, it seems like in the NFC, can run the ball but us in the playoffs right now. I literally just thought about that on the spot. Even Aaron Jones in Minnesota can run the ball very well, too. So that could be a little bit scary for Washington as far as defensively and offensively, with the lack of running that we can do with if it's not Jayden Daniels with his legs. Also, defensively, we can't stop the run to save our life. So I say that to say, if it's Tampa, I'm not scared of them at all. I think we're going to beat Tampa. I said that when we lost them week 1. I said, man, I can't wait to see them again, because if we see them again in a month or two, bro, like at that time I was saying, if they didn't get us week 1, we would have beat them. But they got us week 1 at the perfect time. Jayden Daniels' first game ever. So they got us good. And it's not to take anything away from Tampa, because they can score the ball with the best of them. The thing is that it's just one of those things where I feel like we just match up better, and we're just overall the better team. So I say that to say there's neither one of them that I'm scared to face. I think they're more so pressured than anything, given the fact that they have the home playoff game. And they have a lot to play for. We're not even supposed to be here. That's why I think Washington can have a good advantage in this year's postseason. Is there's no expectation. You already blew our expectations out of the water by your regular season performance. No one's going in there expecting you to win a Super Bowl this season. But if you do, then I'm going to be excited. But it's not next year. Next year is when the expectation starts to kick in. Like next year, we don't expect to just make a wild card. We expect to get this division. We expect to win a playoff game. We expect to make it to the NFC Championship. Like the expectations kick in next season. But right now, you're just playing with house money. So I think the pressure is more so on the division leader, division winner, and the team that hosts the playoff game more so than it is us, because we're playing with house money and they don't have Jayden Daniels. So the pressure's on them more so than anything else, because they know how dangerous he can get.
No, definitely. I agree, man. I think we also, you mentioned the run game. Like, I don't want to see Jayden, like, obviously he can, but rush over 100 yards a game again, because, again, like, using his leg, it's a weapon, but you don't want to see him get hurt. You just got to see B-Rob and C-Rod. I love C-Rod's running as of recently. B-Rob's a little bit in a slump. I don't know, that Dallas game really just took him out. But again, like, I think we can get the running game going again. And once that running game gets open again, it opens up RPOs and opens up play action. So it's going to be very interesting to see, especially tomorrow, how they handle against a Dallas team where basically depleted. Outside of Micah Parsons, I really don't know any other players that are really starting. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I can't wait, bro. Wild card. Last time they were in the playoffs was 4 years ago. We were seniors in high school, and that game just felt like a fever dream because we were so close to beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who ended up winning the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah, definitely, man. And shout out to Doug, because I've been thinking about this for the last week. After they said that Jalen Hurts wouldn't play because he was still in concussion protocol, I was thinking about that. This whole past week, I'm like, man, even if he comes back, he hasn't played football in nearly 3 weeks, so he could be a little bit rusty, and that could cost them to potentially lose this game against Green Bay. I definitely think they'll end up winning just because they overall have the more talent on the roster, but it wouldn't surprise me if Green Bay went into Philly and knocked them off in wild card weekend. And obviously Washington, I think, has a good chance to knock off either the Rams or Tampa Bay. So could you imagine how big that would be for the NFC playoffs, and how that would mess up the bracket? Like both 6 and 7 seed knocked off the 1 and the 2 and the 3 seed. Like that would be crazy, because then you set up a scenario where I think Detroit will end up going to Green Bay, and Washington would end up going to Minnesota if they beat the 4 seed, which at that point the 4 seed would be Tampa Bay. That is a good first round. Like as much as I would love to see us play Tampa Bay, I would prefer, as just an NFL fan, to see Vikings Bucks than Washington and Rams, because I don't know if that Rams Vikings game would be as interesting for me to watch, but that we could see a realistic scenario where Washington could make an NFC Championship appearance in their first season in the playoffs. Eli says dream scenario: Commanders win first round, Packers upset Eagles, both teams win the second round, and we can host the Packers at the NFC. If that happens, I doubt that happens, because I don't see the Packers going into Detroit and beating them. But if that happens, bro, literally, I don't have the money to go there, but I'm gonna find a way there.
Oh, I haven't been to a game at all throughout my whole life. I haven't been to a game. I'm telling you, somehow, some way, I'm gonna get enough money to buy a ticket to go to that game.
I'm telling you, bro. The energy is back. You would have enjoyed. I didn't go to the Eagles game, even though I had the opportunity to. I didn't go. I went to the Falcons game, and that Quan Martin pick was the loudest I ever heard that say. The energy is legit back. You're going to your first game potentially in the future at the best time, because the stadium is definitely back, man. But no, yeah, if we make it to the NFC Championship, bro, somebody gotta find us some tickets, bro. Somebody gotta get us in there, bro. Get us a seat, because it would be crazy.
And here's the thing: Green Bay upsetting Philadelphia. Last year, Green Bay was a 7 seed, went into Dallas. Young Jordan Love. I mean, again, it was. I think Dallas had 13, 12-5, 13 around that. But at the end of the day, it's not impossible. Jordan Love is a good QB now. Well, receiving wise and talent wise, Philly has the upper hand. But I mean, again, you're telling me if Green Bay goes into Philadelphia, I'm rooting for Green Bay, and I think there's a chance of them to win that game.
No, yeah, definitely. Anybody in the NFC playoff picture right now can win their first wild card round. I think Minnesota could beat Tampa Bay. I think Tampa Bay could beat Minnesota. Washington, I think, could beat LA. I think LA could beat Washington. It's so evenly matched. There's not no one favorite team in this conference like it is in the AFC. Even Detroit as the 1 seed, they're favored in all these matchups, obviously, but given all their injuries and stuff like that, they're definitely could be beat too. So you don't know who's gonna represent the NFC in the Super Bowl, but it's not like the AFC. Like the AFC, you have clear favorites: Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City. If Cincinnati gets in, though, that's gonna be interesting. But it's not like the NFC where literally anybody could make it to the Super Bowl. And if Washington was that team to somehow make it to the Super Bowl in their first season, I wouldn't even be that surprised, because again, it's not that top dog. The only team that you could potentially say is Detroit, but they still could be had. I do honestly think that's where Washington's season could potentially come to an end. I don't think we're gonna get past Detroit. I think because they had the NFC Championship appearance last year and they were so close to making it to Super Bowl that last year. I think this is Detroit's year, and depending on how deep Washington goes to the playoffs, I think next year is our year. But we're gonna enjoy the ride as it happens, because you never know, man. Anything can happen any given Sunday. It's not like the NBA. It's not like the MLB. You just have to be better than that team that one day. So that's all that matters. Shout out to the chat. I'm going to give some comments. Make sure you guys subscribe to Abdullah. His channel will be in the link description down below. Jalen's dad, if you could find his channel for me and link it into the chat or any mod that is currently in here. Let's go ahead and give some shout outs to the comment section before we move on to the next topic. Let me actually see that Bengals game, because that Bengals game was actually closer than what I expected. I thought Cincinnati would be running away with that game at some point, but I'm actually want to check that game because that's interesting. If the Bengals win, I think they're going to get in, bro.
But here's the thing, though. If they win, they need Kansas City to beat Denver, right?
Yeah, and Carson Wentz, you don't think he's capable?
Dude, the thing is, like, here's my thing. One, if Cincy gets in the playoffs, I think they could actually go, like, because again, like, they have the experience. Offensively, they're a juggernaut. I mean, defensively, they're god awful. So I don't know about that, but they could definitely make some noise after that last seed. So I'd be scared in the AFC if they somehow get in there.
Yeah, definitely. Doug says, can we talk some NBA basketball? I'm going to be completely honest with you, Doug, like completely honest with you. I haven't watched a lick of basketball all season long. Have I kept up with like the seedings and seen a little highlights on House of Highlights and stuff like that? Yeah, I have. But to sit down and watch the NBA product as a whole is such a struggle for me nowadays. It is such a tough watch. And it's crazy to say because I used to be a big basketball fan. Like the NBA and NFL growing up used to be neck and neck for me, but now the NBA is such a hard product for me to watch. Like
the ratings are down.
Yeah, it doesn't help. The Wizards are trash, and then the Lakers also. I don't know what's up with the Lakers. I was a Kobe fan growing up. He's my favorite player. So I used to always say default. I was a Lakers fan, but I don't care about the NBA right now, bro. That's the least of my mind. If the Wizards ever get good, I'll obviously support them, and I'll admit, yes, I'll be a bandwagon Wizards fan because I don't follow them nearly as close as the Commanders. It's Commanders and Nationals for me. Those are my top two sports, man. But I can't. NBA product is bad. It's bad when NBA used to be Christmas Day and the NFL has literally came and overtook that day from them. That literally used to be the day. Like growing up, it used to be football, Thanksgiving, and then NBA Christmas Day 2014, LeBron James on the Heat, the Christmas jerseys versus OKC. Like that was the time. What the hell has happened to the NBA, man? I don't know. But Eli says, one guy talking sports, do you watch hockey? Let's go Caps. I do support the Capitals. I do want to see Alex Ovechkin before he retires. I've never seen him play. I've never been to a hockey game in my life. So I would definitely love to check that out. But I'm more of a postseason hockey watcher. But I do follow the Caps on everything, so I kind of keep up with them. But I more so watch hockey in the postseason. Postseason hockey is actually very entertaining. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's see.
Just give it a year or two for the Wizards. Once they get Cooper Flag and like some other guys,
hopefully
it'll be good. Because they are. Go ahead.
Did you say? I said I think they just need. Oh, my fault. Go ahead. What you gonna say?
I was just about to say, like, I think this year they'll definitely have a top 3 pick, and they'll get Flag, Harper, or Ace Bailey, one of those three. And then I think next year, after 2026, I think they'll be playoff contending.
Hockey live is legit. Yeah, I gotta go catch one of those games at Cap One before Alex Ovechkin retires. Is Tom Wilson still on the Capitals? I don't know. I haven't kept up with them this season either, but I know they're really good, though. I know they've been really good this season. Let's see. NBA is definitely tough to watch. There's no defense at all. Yeah, Doug says, I love watching basketball. Wizards are in a super deep rebuild. Hey, look, all they need to do is get the number 2 pick and go draft at LSU. The Capitals did it. They drafted Dylan Cruz with the number 2 overall pick from LSU. Washington Commanders drafted Jayden Daniels with the number 2 pick from LSU. Hey, Wizards, go ahead, go to LSU, number 2 overall pick, man. That seems like the hot money right now. Since Wizards games are nice to go to, I don't think I've ever been to a Wizards game. I don't even think I've ever been to Capital One Arena. Actually, I did. I was there, but that was back when it was called Verizon Center. Let's see what else comments do we have here. Detroit has so many injuries on defense. That is true. I still think they're going to end up going to the NFC Championship, and I think they're going to end up representing the NFC in the Super Bowl. Gregory says, only thing with us is the defense would be our Achilles heel. Those quarterbacks will pick us apart. Honestly, I see what you're saying there, but I think the defense has been playing better as of late. I think what is going to be our Achilles heel, Gregory, honestly, is the lack of run game. I think Washington cannot run the football at all. I don't think we're going to find it, and I think we're going to put, obviously going to rely on 5, and at some point it's going to be a little bit too much for him to handle. Not because he can't do it, but I mean, it's a team sport, and you're in the playoffs. You're no longer playing the little sisters of the poor. You're playing Detroit. You're playing Minnesota. You're playing Philly. You're playing Tampa. You're playing good teams. So I think where our Achilles heel is going to be is the lack of run game, more so than the defense. What says you out there? I mean, what says you, Abdul? That's it out there.
Yeah, no, I especially like if it's going to put so much more pressure on Jayden. I think obviously, Atlanta, like their defense is below average, so we got away with it. But when you're playing up against like the good defenses in the playoffs and the NFC, then that's going to be a problem. I just think also if we don't have Marshawn Lattimore, I think that's going to be a big issue because again, Michael Davis, it just doesn't look like he deserves to be out there on the field. Like just very old, very slow, no technique, always getting beat off the ball. Like, and then Benjamin St. Juste a little bit better, but at the end of the day, like. We just desperately need to address his secondary in this offseason.
Yeah, definitely. Michael Davis, I was at the game and I was defending him in the stands. I was like, no, that ain't passing, bro. I was like, what is the refs doing, bro? When I got home and I saw the replays of the pass interference, I said, oh my God. It looks like he's running in slow motion, bro. Like, what is he doing? And I definitely would rather have Benjamin St. Juste and Emmanuel Forbes over there Michael Davis. That's not saying a lot, but that's saying a lot about Michael Davis, man. Doug says, I do miss when the Wizards had John Wall, Bradley Beal. Yeah, man, John Wall, Bradley Beal, and then Nate, March, and Gortat. They had Trevor Reed. Was Trevor Reed, was that a little bit before Bradley Beal? I know Trevor Reed was there too.
Yeah, he was there for a little too. I was gonna say for any Wizards fans in here, a little plug in, but go check out Locked On Wizards podcast that I'm soon, hopefully, to be a co-host. Wizards right now, they're not that easy to listen to and talk about them, but again, like just give it a year or two, they're gonna be really good.
Yeah, Trevor Reed, I remember Paul Pierce was a part of that team. That was the big clutch 3-pointer. Was that 3-pointer? Was that against Toronto in the playoffs? Was it Toronto? I forgot what team.
He hit a game winner against Atlanta. I don't know if you remember.
It was Atlanta. It was Atlanta. I know it was in the playoff series. He hit the game winner. It was just crazy. No, then I remember, and I know we're getting off topic, but the John Wall buzzer beater against Boston, bro. Like, I was in the bar. I was in the bar watching it, but I really thought the Wizards were gonna go all the way that year, man. But yeah, how fun they used to be to watch. That's crazy. But as Abdullah says, they'll eventually get back there at some point. You know what I'm saying? Says the Wizards do have a lot of young talent. They just have to develop them. Says Tom Wilson is still there. Cavs games are amazing. Have you been to a Cavs game before?
No, unfortunately not. I got to, but I heard hockey games, like the environment is so live.
Yeah, bro. I got to see Alex Ovechkin go. I know the tickets because I don't know how close he is to breaking the record. I know he's close. I don't know if like how many more goals he needs to break Wayne Gretzky's record, but I know the tickets for that game is probably gonna be insane. But I definitely want to see him play before he retires. But this is one of the better seasons the Caps has had since winning the World Cup. I mean, that's the World Cup. God, leave my mind's all over the place. The Stanley Cup. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what they look like in the playoffs, and I'll definitely be watching. They're like playoff hockey. I think is up there with NFL playoffs, bro. I think so. I don't know though, because MLB playoffs is tough too. Like I know baseball may be hard to watch, but if you actually know baseball,
playoff time it gets so lit. Yeah. For a guy that I don't really watch baseball like that, but when you watch the playoff, it's actually like so much more better. And also, when you factor in the fact that MLB regular season is just so long, like I think once they see the playoffs, it's like okay, these are the teams remaining. That's when everyone gets hyped.
Yeah, no, facts. But if you guys have any more last minute questions and comments for us before we get up out of here, leave it down below in the comment section. We'll probably go for about 5 more minutes. Abdullah, again, let them know where to find you and all your work and what do you do so they can go ahead and subscribe you up.
Yeah, man. Thanks again to Juan, bro. We go way back, bro. Like generally, guys, like we used to be little like high schoolers in this like Redskins group chat. Like I still remember some of the guys in the group chat. Like it's crazy, dude. Now we're like in our 20s, bro. I'm about to be 23 this year, which is actually, even though the year started, that's crazy. But yeah, you can find me on Abdullah Ayubi, ABDULLAH space AYUBI. Just post Commander stuff on there. Try to push out as much fire content out there as possible. Also, co-host on Locked On Wizards. I love the DC sports teams. I love talking about sports, man. It's one thing that I've always been loved doing growing up, playing, watching, talking about it. And now that the Commanders are good, it makes it a little bit more fun.
No, yeah, definitely, man. So make sure you guys sub up Abdullah. Again, as he mentioned, we go way back. Like the fact that it's 2025 and this year makes 4 years since I graduated high school. It's like, where the hell has time went, bro? Like, I don't know. But he says y'all are young. I wish I could be 23 again. Yeah, I know we are. But it's just like when you've been doing something for so long, as far as like YouTube, like when I started when I was 15, well, at least this channel, I've been doing YouTube way long before like I was like 15 or whatever. But I started this channel, I was like 15 in the 10th, 11th grade, man. And then it's just like now I actually have to be an adult, bro. Like, fuck. He says, beat the Cowboys tail. Yeah, I guess we could preview that game a little bit. It says Nationals suck. Hey, Nationals, I think they're closer than the Wizards. Now, that's not saying much, but they're definitely closer than the Wizards with the draft pick of Dylan Cruz. Have a nice pitching rotation with lead by Josiah Gray. Got some great bats in the lineup. James Wood is very nice. He had a good rookie season last year. CJ Abrams too. He's a dog. Like we got some guys now. But I guess he says I'm like 3/4 or I like the Orioles, so 3/4 of my teams are good. Yeah, a lot of DMV DC people like the O's because there was no Nationals in DC. It was all closest team was Baltimore, so I understand that. But the O's are definitely good. Maybe they can get over the postseason hump and actually make a run because they were supposed to do that for like last 2 seasons. However, I guess we can preview a little bit of the game. I really didn't want to touch it because it's so obvious. Dallas is probably going to play Trey Lance for a bulk of that game. We know what to do, but I guess we can preview it a little bit. You got any thoughts on tomorrow's game?
I think just going to Dallas, come out with a win, and come out healthy. I know Austin Eckler is playing. I'm hoping somehow, I don't know if Noah Brown can come back for this wild card game, but we just need all the help we can get. And this is another thing that I love about this new regime. Year one, a lot of like when it comes to the injury bug, we really haven't gotten affected by it. Knocking on wood right now, but like in the past, like it all comes down to sometimes coaching and like the staff that you have. It also reflects on the injuries and everything. I'm not saying that because our staff's so great that means no one's got hurt. That's not true. But there's some correlation there. The better teams, the ones that go far in the playoffs, the ones that win the Super Bowl, are the healthiest teams. And the Commanders so far this year been pretty up to par.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, I wish there was a way that we can get all the injured guys back, like Noah Brown. Austin Eckler is definitely going to be a big help. I would definitely take him off of kick returns, though, and keep Luke McCaffrey back there. Not because, I would prefer one to get hurt, not the other. But Luke McCaffrey not only has been really good back there the last couple of weeks in Austin Eckler's absence, and I feel like that's a way to get him on the field and get him touching the ball. But, again, Austin Eckler is too valuable to this team, and both of his concussions has been on kick returns. So with him being back, it's definitely going to give a huge boost to this team. And we'll see starting tomorrow, if the run game can get back to some type of substance with him back in the lineup. We'll see how many snaps he plays. But yeah, as you mentioned, the goal is to go into Dallas. We're going to win. Like I'm clear, we don't get swept by Dallas in the down year. If we get swept by Dallas in the down year, that is going to suck. I don't care how successful we are in the postseason. That is going to be ass because you know how for the next 6 months we're going to have to hear we swept y'all though in a down year. We was trash, but at least we swept y'all. At least we beat y'all twice. Like that don't matter. We still beat y'all twice. Like I don't got time to hear that, man. So we got to take care of business, but more so than anything else, as you mentioned, at the top, very top of the chain order is getting out of this thing healthy. The dream scenarios for Washington to get up 28, 35 points, you know, and kind of take the starters out sometime in like the second half. So that's what I hope we do. But yeah, man, make sure you guys.
Yeah. I was about to say also, if y'all are on Instagram, DMV Sports on Instagram, we're on the way to 10K followers. I'm not gonna lie, Juan, when the team starts winning, bro, we start winning, bro. People, like, a lot of fans are coming out the bushes and like a lot of newcomers, you know. And hey, I'm not complaining, you know, the more the merrier.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Speaking of 10K, make sure you guys follow them on Instagram and get them to 10K, and also get your boy Juan Gotti to 10K, as we're now on the road to 9,000 subscribers. It'd be greatly appreciated. Let's see.
Terry touchdown, my bad. That's what I wanted to see too, to break the record.
Yeah. Eck better have Guardian cap on tomorrow. Yeah, I would love to see him playing the Guardian cap. I want to see the percentages of the Guardian cap usage, since this was the first season that you could have it in game. I want to see have the concussions went down, and what is the percentage of that. I guess we'll figure that out like after the season's over. Because they're ugly. I hate seeing them, but if it's for the protection of the players, I would recommend them wearing it. Says Terry, long touchdown first drive. That would definitely be great. And then pull him out of the game, bro. Let him break the record, man. He would have had the record if it wasn't for that Saints game. If it wasn't for getting tackled down at the one so many times, he would have had the record. Will Diggs, what's going on? Will Diggs, shout out to my man Will Diggs. Eli says it's 16-7 versus the Bengals game. Okay. But yeah, man, looks like we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us tonight. Make sure you guys again go subscribe to Abdullah's channel. He's soon to be the co-host on Locked On Wizards. I'll link his channel in the description, and also follow them on Instagram at DMV Sports Zone. As far as your man Juan Gotti, you know where to find me. Subscribe me here. We're on the road to 9,000 subscribers. It's going to be greatly appreciated if you can reach that goal as soon as possible. 10K is my ultimate goal as well. So both help by getting us to 10K on YouTube and then 10K over there on DMV Sports Zone's Instagram. Alrighty, y'all. Catch y'all tomorrow after the Washington Commanders victory, hopefully. I'll see y'all. Peace.
Never gave a ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a line.